Welcome to this episode of the story. Have you subscribed yet? Chapter 6: Codex Fragments and the Secret of Burnt Ink. Ink spirits that struggled and screamed in the blaze. Prison Codex Division cultivators stood coldly by the pit, holding gilded badges, one of them clutching a bone brush identical to his own. On the stone tablet beside the pit, the blood-red characters "Ink is fortune, Spirit awakened shall be executed," were carved. The fragment vanished as quickly as it came, leaving Shen Yan with a splitting headache, as if struck by a blunt weapon. He stumbled back to steps, hitting the file cabinet, and a page of the records of the script copying division tore off, floating to the floor right in front of the paperweight beast. The paperweight beast lowered its head to sniff the page, then let out a low growl. Its cyan glow completely enveloped the page, and the ink on it ray coalesced, revealing a deliberately smudged line of writing. Spirit awakened ink is the condensed fortune of cultivators. The prison Codex Division burns it to seize fortune and nourish the Codex tampering technique. In 300 years, the corrector shall appear, ink spirits shall return, and the Codex shall be clear. Condensed fortune of cultivators. Codex tampering technique? Shen Yan's pupils constricted, and countless clues clicked into place in his mind. He finally understood that the script cultivation system of the Codex Compilation Bureau was a complete fraud. The prison Codex Division tampered with the Codex's characters to convert cultivators' fortune into ink cakes. Once an ink cake awakened its spirit, it meant the cultivator's fortune was about to awaken, and the prison Codex Division would burn the ink cake in the name of exorcising demons, seizing the fortune to nourish their own Codex tampering technique. The awakening of his ink cake was no accident. It was the faint low resonance in his body that had caused his fortune to condense into an ink spirit ahead of time. What a cruel scheme! What a vicious trick! Shen Yan ground his teeth, rage surging from the bottom of his heart. He had worked as a scribe in the script copying division for 3 years, seen too many cultivators waste away from stagnant cultivation, seen too many people exhaust their efforts without breaking through. It turned out it wasn't their lack of talent, but that their fortune had long been secretly seized by the prison Codex Division, and even the chance of their ink cake's awakening was snuffed out. Just then, the wooden door of the archive room creaked open, and an old voice rang out, "Young friend, do not give in to anger. Fury will stir the void mist, and not only will you be in mortal danger, but the laws of the entire Codex Compilation Bureau will fall into chaos. The cost is too great." Shen Yan spun around sharply, only to see an old monk in a gray robe standing at the door, holding a bamboo food basket. The edges of his robe were patched, dew clung to his monk's sandals, and it was clear he had just arrived from outside. The old monk's face was covered in gully, like wrinkles, but his eyes were unusually bright and clear. It was Hui Neng, the sweeper in the Codex Compilation Bureau. He was usually silent and withdrawn, only appearing near the archive room at dawn and dusk. Shen Yan had only exchanged a few words with him before, never expecting him to appear at this moment. "Master Hui Neng?" Shen Yan instinctively hid the records of the script copying division behind his back, eyeing him warily. Most people in the Codex Compilation Bureau colluded with the prison Codex Division, and he dared not trust anyone easily. The bone brush in his palm was already poised to strike. If the other party made any suspicious move, he would act immediately. Hui Neng stepped slowly into the archive room, placing the food basket on the desk and lifting the lid to reveal 2 white steamed buns and a bowl of hot porridge, still curling with wispy steam. The porridge's aroma mixed with faint sandalwood, dispelling the musty smell of the archive room. "You did not return last night, so I thought you must have gone without food all night. This old monk specially fetched some vegetarian meals from the refectory. You should eat something to pad your stomach first." His voice was gentle, his gaze sweeping over the scattered paper on the floor, the weakened paperweight beast, and the Codex Shen Yan hid behind his back. But he did not expose it. Only sighing, this old monk has swept the floors of this Codex compilation bureau for 30 years, seen too many tragedies of spirit-awakened ink cakes, and too many plots of miswritten characters killing without bloodshed. Ink has spirit, words have soul. Miswritten characters kill without spilling blood today. This old monk can finally say this to someone who understands. Shen Yan's heart jolted. Hui Neng's words struck right at his current state of mind. He hesitated for a moment, then slowly pulled out the records of the script copying division, pointing to the writing on the pages and asking, "Master, you've known about these things all along. The ink-burning disaster of the 3rd year of Yangel, the prison codex division's codex tampering technique, and the secret of this bone brush." Hui Neng bent down to pick up the torn page, his fingertips brushing the words "condensed fortune of cultivators," and a trace of sorrow flashed in his eyes. This old monk has been in this codex compilation bureau for 300 years. Back then, I was not called Hui Neng. I was a young monk of the correction division. I witnessed the ink-burning disaster of the 3rd year of Yangel with my own eyes. My senior brothers in the correction division fought a bloody battle with the prison codex division to protect the spirit-awakened ink cakes, only to be framed for rebellion, and all died a tragic death in the ink-burning pit. Only this old monk escaped by luck, changing his name and hiding, becoming a sweeper, guarding this archive room and the truth from 300 years ago. 300 years? The correction division? Shen Yan was too shocked to speak. The longest-lived cultivators in the Codex Compilation Bureau rarely exceeded 100 years. How could Hui Neng have lived for 3 centuries? And the correction division, long lost to the annals, had actually been destroyed by the prison codex division for guarding the codex's clarity. Hui Neng did not elaborate, only pulling out half a yellowed palm leaf from his bosom and holding it out to Shen Yan. The palm leaf was covered in obscure Sanskrit, its edges worn, but it still exuded a faint Buddha's light. This is a fragment of the Palm Leaf Sutra, the treasure of the former correction division. The Sanskrit characters on it will appear when exposed to ink. Keep it safe, and remember the bone brush is forged from Kang Ji's remaining bone, capable of correcting the codex's errors. Yet every stroke you make will awaken the mist a little more. This void mist is the resentment of countless ink spirits from the ink-burning disaster, entangled with the Codex's false laws for 300 years. Once aroused, the consequences will be catastrophic. Shen Yan took the palm leaf, which was cool to the touch. Though he could not understand the Sanskrit, it exuded a serene aura that suppressed the spiritual power in his body, which had been stirred up by anger. He looked at Hui Neng and finally realized that this seemingly ordinary sweeper was the last correction monk, the key to the truth from 300 years ago. "Master, is the mission of the correction division to have me use the bone brush to revise the codex and expose the prison codex division's conspiracy?" Shen Yan tightened his grip on the palm leaf, a glimmer of light igniting in his eyes, and the confusion of recent days finally cleared. The path of correction is not for revenge, nor for fame. Hui Neng shook his head, his voice growing more solemn. It is to guard the codex's clarity, to protect cultivators' fortune, and to return the character laws to their origin, not to let them become tools for the prison codex division's plunder. Young friend, you have no spiritual root, yet you can distinguish miswritten characters and summon ink spirits. You are the corrector chosen by fate. But the road ahead is perilous. You must be prepared. With that, Hui Neng picked up the food basket and turned toward the door, his gray robe merging into the shadows of the archive room, leaving only a faint sentence, "In 3 days, at the ink-burning pit behind the mountain. This old monk will take you to meet some old friends. Remember, Never let the bone brush leave your side, and never let the ink spirit leave your hand. After Hui Neng left, silence returned to the archive room. The candle flame still flickered, illuminating the records of the script copying division, the palm leaf fragment, and the bone brush in Shen Yan's sleeve. The paperweight beast crawled to his feet, nuzzling his trouser leg with its snout, and the ink spirit jumped down from his hand to land on the palm leaf, its little face filled with resolve. Master, no matter how difficult the road ahead, the ink spirit will stay with you and fulfill the correction mission. Shen Yan took a deep breath, carefully tucking the records of the script copying division and the palm leaf into his bosom, then looked up at the iron cabinet. The paperweight beast's barrier still held, but the aura of the void mist grew stronger by the moment. He knew the calm in the archive room was only temporary. The prison Codex division's eyes were already fixed on him, and his path of correction had only just begun. The candlelight fell on the bone brush, and the character's revised glowed with cyan light, as if responding to the oath in his heart, and as if lighting a lamp to redress the grievances of the wronged souls from 300 years ago. The story continues, and the subsequent episodes will be even more exciting. Subscribe as soon as possible. All novel videos posted on this site are from the website discoverstories.xyz. This website will be updated continuously,